All right, I have so much to share today. This is going to be a good one. If you guys are feeling like you need an escape, if you need a little bit of sanity in all of this time, I think I've got you. So one thing that I've been doing is I've been diving in deep to all of the stuff that I've been wanting to work on for months, if not years, like all of the goals that I've had. And what I'm doing right now is I'm very much just aligning, like, what do I want to focus on right now? Like, what have I been dying to work on? And I'm using this time as a freaking blessing. I'm changing my mindset to, is this a curse or is this a blessing? And 12 months from now, this might be the best freaking time of your life because you had a chance to hunker down and get to work on all of the dreams and all of the goals that you've just been craving to have enough time for. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to take you guys through all of my favorite books and tools and things that I'm using right now to crush my freaking goals this year. It is still 2020. It is still that like beautiful, round, perfect 2020 number. We've got this, and it could, listen, we're only entering the second quarter now. This can still be your freaking year and your time to shine. So I want to share all of my favorite tips, tricks, and tools with you guys. So if that's something you want to see, then just keep watching. All right, the first thing that I have been doing to not only stay sane, but kind of like up my game and just feel great throughout the day is, you guys know this, I start my day with a spin. So one thing that I do is I open up my Audible app. Audible is like a free app that you can just download in the App Store. By the way, I have talked about Audible so much in previous videos where I'm talking about goal setting and my favorite books. But this time, Audible reached out and said, would you like to partner on a video? And I, of course, said yes. So huge thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. I actually always want to, have something in it for you guys. And I literally just messaged them. I said, well, what do I have to give my friends, my followers, my people, my family? What do I have for them? And they said, if they text your name, so just Angie Bellemare, but no caps, no spaces, just it's case sensitive. I already made that mistake. If you text to 500, so 500, you'll get a free audiobook as well as 2 originals. So they have their own Audible originals. Same thing if you just go to audible.com/Angie Bellemare. I'll put it up on the screen. If you go to that, you will get the free stuff. I wanted to have something in it for you guys. Now, what I do on Audible is I will usually start my day that way. But here's the cool thing that I think that a lot of people aren't realizing right now. Audible has always been like the king of audiobooks. Yes, they pretty much have every single book that I'm going to talk to you about. They pretty much have it on there. And that's one thing that I do. Anytime that I love a book on like hardcover form or paper cover form, I buy, like if I love the physical book, I buy the audiobook so that way I can kind of tag team it and take notes in my book. And I have it in 2 separate ways, different ways of consuming it, if that makes sense. So the other thing though, is that they have meditation guides on here. So if you're feeling a little bit lost right now, that could be a good thing. The other thing that they have that I wanted to share with you guys, so I'm actually going to get this right now. So they have in their original series, Mel Robbins is the author of the 5-second rule. If you've never heard of the 5-second rule and right now you're struggling with like anxiety, fear, whatnot, which I totally understand, one way that you can get control of it is the 5-second rule. So you can either get that audiobook or you can get her original, which is an Audible original. Listen to this. It's called Take Control of Your Life, How to Silence Fear and Win the Mental Game. And it has a 4.8 out of 5 stars. That's a lot. So I'm going to use one of my credits to do that. So the way that Audible works, and I've had Audible for years. I think over 5 years I've had it. And you get a credit every single month. And that credit will get you either an audiobook and 2 originals, which I didn't know until today. And the other thing that I wanted to share is that credit, you can also gift it. So one thing that I've been doing, I've been working closely with my team of coaches. To me, it's number one that they're on their health game and their mental game because they're out there helping other people. So that's always my number one goal for them. And I love to get them gifts. So this month I got a bunch of them some Audible gift cards, basically. So I used my own credit to gift them one of my favorite books. And I feel like that was not only like a very thoughtful way to do it, but I wanted to share if you guys have staff, or if you guys have a friend that you love that's struggling with something, or just even if you see like a comedy book or a love romance or whatever, something that they might like, it's a cool way to gift it. So you can do that. So you can have credits every single month. There's different forms of memberships, but if you use that code, you'll get your first month free, which is awesome. Let's talk about organization. I know that I've talked to you guys about planners and all of the things, but right now what's working for me and that's really keeping me sane is a simple little to-do list. So I have this Ray Dunn list that I got at TJ Maxx, and then I got this Get It Done. And I really think that they missed the boat on this. It should have said DUNN, but it's okay. I'll forgive it. So all I've been doing is just writing out a master list, like brain dumping everything that I know that I need to do, because I think a lot of the times like our mind can play tricks on us and we think that we have so much to do and we're so overwhelmed and we start freaking out. And I get it. I totally get it. It's very high stress right now. It's very high pressure. But if you put things in perspective and you put everything down on one piece of paper and you really just circle or star or highlight 3 things that'll move the needle for you, that if those 3 things were to get completed, you would not only feel better about your goals, you would feel like you've moved ahead. And that's really what I focus on. And if you're being real, those other things, nothing's going to happen if they're not done. The world will not stop rotating. So that's really how I started seeing this. That has helped me a ton. Meditation has helped me a ton, and doing my workout no matter what has helped me a ton. So I wanted to share, I thought it was really cool that Audible had the meditation guide. So I've been doing that. I have been listening to an audiobook on Audible while I spin. In the morning, I'll do like a 10 to 15 minute spin, and I always have my little like phone holder on my bike that I got off of Amazon, and it holds my phone, and then I just listen to the audiobook while I do a scenic ride. Andre does the exact same thing, and what's really cool is, let's say I hop from my phone on the bike till later on I'm listening on my iPad, it'll keep my spot in the book. So you never lose your spot, which is awesome. So what I wanted to do is take you guys into my Audible account and share everything, as well as all the books that I'm listening to right now. So I'm actually just going to screen record so you guys can literally see my entire account and just what I'm listening to, what we're loving, and kind of share that with you. So the first thing, my most recent edition, and it's not downloaded yet. That's the other thing I wanted to say. Once a title is downloaded or even begin to download, it is on your phone. You can listen to it anywhere, even if you don't have internet, it'll be downloaded on your account. So that's awesome. And then you have your library. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. And I'm just going to share all of the books that I'm listening to. So this book that I just got is called Keto for Life. And I have the hardcover here. I always take off the like paper off of the books if it's annoying. So it's by Mark Sisson. I'm not really sure. If you guys know, let me know. It's so good. And so there's like a meal plan, like the second half of it is a full meal plan and like a daily guide, which I'm going to take my girls in my fit gym through. I want to be the guinea pig and do it first. I'm loving my workouts right now, but I wanted to get like a hold on my mindset as well as my sleep, my mental state. And there's like, the book is basically about like these 4 pillars. But here's the thing. I was only getting so much from it as the hardcover, and I want to be able to consume it in terms of an audio and have him read it. That's the other thing. Can I give you guys like my little preference hack? I always look if it's narrated by the author. I just prefer when it's narrated by the author. There's always more heart and passion into it. And can I just tell you, where is it? I'm sure it's in here because I just listened to it. One of the other originals that I bought was Kick-Ass by Mel Robbins. I'm just going to download that one. See how it takes like 2 seconds for it to download, and see how it says ready to play. So that Mel Robbins one, but the one I'm looking for is, this one. See, it says finished. So good. Gary Vaynerchuk, whenever he has an audiobook, and he always does his own audiobooks, he like ad-libs the whole thing. Is that how you say it? Ad-libs? He like adds his own parts. So if you've read the book, there's like all these different, he goes, can I just go off script for a second? And he does that time and time again. It's like gold what he's sharing. So whether you're in business, I personally tend to go towards more of like the business books, the personal development books. But if you just want to like escape and read like a romance novel, have at it. The other thing that I look for is a lot of like relationship books. So the 5 love languages of appreciation in the workplace, because I read the 5 love languages for like couples. I point that way because Andre's out there in his office. But one thing that I want to share, let's get into like the actual books that I'm reading. So in terms of nutrition, mindset, I thought that this one was good. It's not, can I tell you, it's not some like gimmicky keto book. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but there's a lot of fad books out there right now in terms of like, do this diet. It's not about the diet. It's literally about mindset and about sleep and how much you're on technology, and then the nutrition. And the nutrition is very simple. It's like, cut out the crap. That's all. Like, to me, it just makes so much sense. So I love it. And I think the proof is in how good this man looks. If you guys aren't following him on Instagram and you go follow him, Mark Sisson, just say that Angie sent you. He can find out that I'm obsessed with him. He's awesome. He like paddle boards every day. He's super cool. This book, I read this summer, and I was shocked that it was on Audible. I was like, look how big the book is. It's a little bit overwhelming. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like that girl that I'm that girl that in school, I think I did one book report and actually read the book. every other time I was that girl that either, I wish audiobooks would have existed whenever I was in elementary school, but I would go find like the summary. I can't believe I'm sharing that. Am I the only one? Or I would ask my friend to help me in the morning. Like, I did not like reading as a kid, and I would always I would figure it out, but man, I wish Audible existed. So this was overwhelming. This is basically a guide to creating your dream life. So it's called Your Dream Life Starts Here, and it's by Christina Carlson. And there's 2 different versions of this. It's on here. So Your Dream Life Starts Here, 6 hours and 47 minutes. Oh, is it an Audible? Read by author. Love that. And then see, okay, look, you are currently at 0.00 seconds. The last heard location across all devices was at 1 hour and 33 minutes. Would you like to go to that location? Yes. So I love that. So this is one that I'm listening to. I will link it for you guys, but it's on Audible. Let's continue. Oh yeah, these are so good. Okay. This is one of my most recent. So same thing. If you're a business owner or you're trying to start social media or start a podcast or trying to get noticed on the interwebs, this is such a beautifully, look how pretty the book is too. But the audiobook is so good, and they swear. I like it. They're very real. I feel like there's way too much glare on my glasses. They fit the part, but let's just have like real conversation. So this is by Kathleen Shannon and Emily Thompson, and they're from the Being Boss podcast. If you guys aren't listening to that, loved this. Same thing. It's on Audible. I think I fully finished the book.
7. Knowing
she's
that
going.
how you feel each day is actually your choice. Think about what degree the way you...
That was Your Dream Life Starts Here. Okay. Then Being Boss, I'm pretty sure that I finished it. Yeah, I finished it. So that's the other thing. It'll mark it as finished. There's also really cool motivational speeches. If you've never heard of Les Brown, he's probably my husband and I's one of our favorite motivational speakers, and he had The Power of Purpose. And that was like a quick little, I finished that one too, but I want to know how long it was, because that was really good. So if you just need like a pick me up in the morning, you just want to feel good. So this one is, oh my gosh, I listened to 6 hours of this, and it's like the best while you're doing a workout. Yeah, I finished it. So it was 6 hours. The other thing that you can do is you can listen to things at 1.5 times the speed, 2 times the speed if you're like really into it. And some books, like the 12-week year, is the best, because if the author already speaks a little bit slower, you can speed it up so you can actually consume the book faster, which is kind of cool, especially if you're doing a workout. I feel like I'm never going to shut up about this book. Whenever someone asks me about time management, what do I do for time management? How do I get my act together? I'm sitting at home and I feel like I'm doing nothing and I'm just twirling my fingers and I want to get my act together. 12-week year. I love you, 12-week year. So the audiobook is probably goes down as my favorite audiobook of all time. You have to listen to it to know what I'm talking about, but within the first chapter, there is a specific part that I laugh out loud every single time because he's so serious, but the stuff that he says, I'm like, okay. It's like that tough love that you need. The premise of the 12-week year is that you get more done in 12 weeks than you would in 12 months. So it's condensed. You've condensed your year. And this version, which I think it's the original that's on here. Let's search together. Let's go on Audible. 12-week year. So you can literally just search for any title that you want, and I can pretty much guarantee that they're all on there. So see, it says already purchased. By the way, I create like a wish list of all of my favorite ones, so they're all in there. And I'll share my wish list with you guys if you want me to. So the 12-week year is in there, the original book. This is the field guide, which I'm following right now. It's kind of like a workbook. So I'm literally going through it. You just like fill out your goals and everything. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I take my coaches through this. It helps so much with goal setting and just focusing your mind in on what you actually want to do without wasting any time on the planning of it and the thinking about it. You get to work because you don't have that, gift of an excess amount of time. You have that level of intensity and that level of that sense of urgency. That's what it creates in your day, and it will work wonders in your life. All right. The last one. If you're feeling stressed, especially when you're waking up in the morning or maybe like later in the afternoon, and try and figure that out. That's something that I'll just be honest with you guys. Oh, this is getting really, really, really fast. I almost noticed a pattern in my day over the past 2 weeks that every single day at around 4 and 5 p.m., my stress would spike a little bit. And one thing that I've been wearing, a lot of you guys have asked about my watch. I switched up my watches. If you guys want me to do like an IGTV or something, I'm not going to do a YouTube because I feel like the techies are going to come for me with their pitchforks and their torches. So I'm not going to do a tech review on YouTube because I'm genuinely just terrified, but I can do it on like an IGTV or somewhere. I don't know. I could go live and just share my thoughts because I've had an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, and now I have this little baby, and I love this one, and it talks to me every day about my stress levels, and I can see when it spikes. Anyways, I love it. I'll link it down below for you guys. But it's almost scary because I've noticed where it spikes, and it almost becomes a habit and a ritual to be stressed at a certain time. And I almost had, I don't want to call it PTSD, but I almost had like stress memories of what happened. If you don't know what happened, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm talking about it on video. I didn't even plan on this. I got kicked off an airplane and it was horrible. And Andre and I are not the type of people that want to make a scene. I guess we could have. Looking back, we should have definitely stood up for ourselves. The story's on my Instagram. If you see the picture of it's like I'm holding passports and we're driving. We had to drive across from Fort Lauderdale, like tippy tip. We basically drove all the way across the East Coast. So we drove all through the States and then up to Ottawa, Canada. So it was a 24.5-hour drive, not including rest stops, like just driving for 24.5 hours. So it was a lot. And I feel like because of when it happened, I almost have like stress at those times. So I try and think about that and I try and meditate at those times a day. Okay, this got really real. Now you guys know. It was really crappy. And now that we're home, it kind of puts things in perspective that I'm home. Like there isn't really much to be stressed about anymore. Like it was really stressful going through that when everything was happening and driving across North America while all of that was happening with everything shut down and trying to find a place to sleep, trying to find a place to eat, and then stressing about crossing the border once we got to Canada. It was just a lot. But to everybody that sent messages and to like all the love and support and everything, thank you. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I shared it in detail on my Instagram, but I'd rather not relive it. Okay. So I've been listening to this and also doing the meditations on the Audible app, but the Desire Map is something that it's an audiobook that doesn't spike my stress. Like it'll talk about goals, but it's almost like she's like whispering to you. So it's very calming. So one thing that I've done is I've listened to the Desire Map in the morning, like first thing, because I am someone that like when I wake up, I don't want anything loud. I don't want anything loud. It's like quiet music or like her. So her name is Danielle Laporte. And I know that on Audible, oh, I bought the other one of hers too. So there is, here, I'm going to screen record this too. There's a book that she has called White Hot Truth. This one is a Desire Map. And then, I also bought the Desire Map, The Experience. That's the one where she's whispering. So they have the Desire Map Daily and they have the Desire Map Experience. I bought the Experience. It's 6 hours and 20 minutes. Here, I'll just let you listen to it. And there's a sample, by the way, if you ever want to hear the author's voice.
And he's finally sleeping. I'm watching Ryan Seacrest sit in for Dick Clark.
She's talking about when she set her goals. See how calm she
by
is?
the fireplace with my then husband at the time.
She's awesome. Okay. So the other thing that she has on here is these fire starter sessions. A soulful, practical guide to creating success on your own terms. And I don't have that one yet. I think I want to get this one. So see how you can do add to wish list. You can do buy now with 1 credit or add to wish list. I add everything to my wish list. So Desire Map, amazing. It's another workbook style, but I like following along. I almost like to lazy read. Like I want them to read to me while I'm reading. It keeps me on pace because then my mind doesn't wander. They're reading to me. They're like, Angie, focus. So it works really well. I hope that this was helpful for you guys. It was a lot of realness, which I didn't think was going to happen, but I actually enjoyed the little chit chat. So I will drop all of the information for Audible down below, as well as that, like the link that you need to get that free audiobook and the 2 free originals. So that's like 3 for free. You're welcome. So I'll share that down below. And then again, you can just, or if it's easier for you, you can do the text thing. I'm almost wondering though, if you have to be in the States to do it. So my Canadian friends, I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to work for you. So just use the link. So I'll leave that down below for you guys. I will leave all of the information and all of the links of every book that I talked about down below, all the information for my Fit Gym down below, the information for my team, like all the stuff that I talk about in a video. And then usually I try and link whatever I'm wearing. You guys always ask about it. I will also link that down below on my like to know it page if you guys aren't following on there. Obviously go follow on Instagram. I feel like some of you are probably already over there reading my very dramatic story. I have no drama in my life, and that was just like more drama than I think that I'll ever experience in a lifetime. So super good on the drama front. I appreciate you guys. I love the crap out of you. If you enjoyed this little chit chat sit down session, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications so that you get notified when the next video goes up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, dudes.